Okay, two short points. I like to dedicate the Shiur to Fuhr Shlema from of Chaim Shlom Ben Rocha. Secondly, an apology if I have coffee spurts here and there. Over Zoom, it's not contagious, so I don't think it's a problem. And if I cough, though, the spurts will end at some point. And I apologize because I don't think I'm exactly 100% in control to stop it. So, you know, there may be some pauses here and there. And I apologize. Okay. Just to go over a little bit, the mitzvah of Tachshite, the Azhar of Tachshite Avodah Zarah, the Ram says very clearly that the Isa is Shelo Lihonos, which is interesting and different because the way he formulates it in Minyan HaMitzvos, both the Hashara of Lo Yidbak V'yotchum U'Macherem and the Hashara of Lo Yisavi Tov B'Secha, it sounds like something like to Mechaber the Avodah Zarah the Mamon, and we'll see exactly when there also is Hano in there, but it's not pure unadulterated Hano as the Rama formulates it by Tachshita. So this would be especially good, this assuming that Tachshitim is a separate Isa, and it's referring to Tachshitim in general, not Misham Avodah Zarah, as we mentioned last week. Now, if you remember, we mentioned in Sefer HaMitzvos, Sefer Avodah Zarah, both in Avodah Zarah Neseres and She'ena Neseres, is B'chal Lavo Isach Mikesef Zarah Aleya. In Mishnah Torah, we pointed out it's not clear at all. It's very possible that the Ashara of Isach Mikesef Zarah Aleya is only in Avodah Zarah She'ena Neseres, and therefore we need a separate lav. And that's only the case that Avodah Zarah is not Neseres. And then, according to Mishnah Torah, basically, Tzipui Avodah Zarah, Noy Avodah Zarah is Mishamshin. And we said, in terms of Sefer HaMitzvos, that Noy Avodah Zarah is not Mishamshin because Mishamshin is Dafka Tzorch Avodah. But Tzorch Kovod, Derech Yipui, might not be Mishamshin Avodah Zarah. Okay. And this will be important for now and later on as we move being able to get to it. The Ramban's opinion is that Leisach Kesef Azov is not a lav for Noy Avodah Zarah, but it's a lav for Mishamshi Avodah Zarah. And Leisavi Tov Beisecha or Yidvak is only referring to Avodah Zarah Atzmo. We pointed out the Stilus Ramban Chumash. Won't go over that now. I think also, if I'm not mistaken, we pointed out that according to Rashi and Avodah Zarah, Memhei and Aleph, there really is no separate lav of L'sachmo Kesef B'Zov. It's just a gilui that there is an Isa over here, even though since the Avodah Zarah is not Nesal, and the Torah is Megala, this is also B'chlal. And Chaschina points it out also in Tov Chav Ches Ois Aleph. here's something important. This I want to point out. The Rambam is the first time he says you get Malkus. Umi sheyavu alav zeh means he's nene, because that's what he says the Isa is. That a nene from the Tachshitim is Chayiv Malkus. The interesting thing is, the Rambam Mishnah Torah, in general, we don't find Malkus Vano, and then the Bossa B'cholav, according to Rambam, is not Chayiv Malkus. If he's nene from Chometz, Chayiv Malkus. Here the Rambam says it's Chayiv Malkus, and also in Perek Zayin of Hilchos Avodah Zarah, Halacha Beis, he says, really quoting Hamavashil, which the Gemara Makis, the Mavashil Batzei Asherah, is like a Shtayim, one time Bishum Loisavi, and one time Bishum Loisavi. But what comes out, you get Malkus Vano. So why is it that if you then if Mola or Klai Kerem or whatever, you don't get Malkus, you only get Malkus Vachila, and when it comes to Avodah Zarah, you get Malkus Vano. So the answer is, I think, very simple. I think the Rav, probably said something like this. If the Isa is basically Isa Achila, and Hano is like an add-on, and it's not the Isa is not Muflish Torah Shebiksav, you only get Malkus and Achila. However, in Avodah Zarah, the Ike Isa is the Isa Hano, and so you get Malkus Hano. You see, some say that there's no Hano for Malkus because of no Maisa, there's no explicit Maisa, or there's no peculiar Maisa, but then to say that you get Malkus for Avodah Zarah, as they say in the Torah, don't make no sense. But if you say that with the Ika Isa is an Isa Hano, then it's a whole different story. And this we'll see in the future. We'll see in the future that the Rambam clearly says another nafkamina. He says that Bosa B'cholav is not chal on an Isa Achila, and that's in the Kudim Nifla, because the Ika Isa Bosa B'cholav is the Isa Achila. However, Hektish is chal, because the Isa before is Isa Achila, now is Isa no, and it's moist. That also, I think, I'm not mistaken if we pointed out that the Avodah Zarah in general, you get Avodah Zarah Mishamshin, you get two Malkus. You get the Malkus for Leisavi and the Malkus Liyid Barabu Meracheret. The question is, for Noy Avodah Zarah, which is an Avodah Zarah of Haneseres, which is also Mishum Shamshin, L'chayos, you only get two Malkus. And if it's an Avodah Zarah from Avodah Zarah She'enu Neseres, you only get one Malkus, because there's no Toeva, because it's only there's no Toeva and there's no Cherem. it happens to be a tachshit from an avodah zarah, it's not neseres. So it's not cherem, and it's not it's not toeva. So there's never an opportunity that for avodah zarah itself you get more than one malchus, and then if you have together with avodah zarah, you also you get malchus either for toeva or for leisach b'kesef v'zarva, and if it also is cherem, you get malchus aliyid b'kol min cherem. But you never get more than one malchus. We pointed out, therefore, the Rambam in Minyan HaLoikin only has nenem avodah zarah because there's no nafkamina. You only get one. And if you add to it the cherem, you get another one. And whether you get malchus because of toeva or you get malchus like sachmo, that is irrelevant in Hilchos Sanhedrin. There's a technical problem here. The Ram says, "Kvar hisboyer mishpatei mitzvah zo b'shlishim avodah zarah." According to math, the Mishnah Kesef in Hilchos Avodah Zarah, Perek Zayin Halacha Beis is v'da zeh kvar hisboyer mishpatei mitzvah zo b'Sanhedrin upishpashti. Upishpashti b'Sanhedrin inyan mishpat mitzvah zo v'lo matzasi really shemiseres avodah zarah. But according to the Kisvei Yad, it's I think beseder because it says b'shlishi avodah zarah. So I don't know. I'm not sure what happened over here with this, but our text is okay. Okay. You have to know, I think we mentioned last week, whether there's ibur avodah zarah in Noi and how it works, and tumas avodah zarah in Noi. If you learn over here in Sefer HaMitzvos that Noi is not mishamshin, not like a Mishnah Torah, okay, say it. Now, next mitzvah. Here we're going to a mitzvah which I was amazed. And especially we'll see with the translation of a word, things become absolutely amazing. At least for me. Mitzvah hasholish v'esrim he she's hilnu shelo livnois el nidachas. Not to build a city that after you were kind of mitzvah schreifer, not to rebuild it. V'ama yisale. Here it's a little odd because the quote "V'hoisa tel olam" is really irrelevant for us. The lav is lo sibon oid. Unless maybe that's cool for the lav, that doing the opposite, but you have to understand, and we'll talk about this, whether is there an assay or not. If we don't find an assay in the United States, according to Ram at least, Let's keep in mind, there's a Gemara Sanhedrin on Kuf Yud Gimel and Aleph. Lema b'Rav Ovid Oma Rabbi Loik Mifugei, the Machlekes Rabbi Akim Rabbi Yossi, which we'll see later, is about this memra Rav Ovid Rabbi Loik. Rabbi Ovid b'Shem Rabbi Loik. The Rav Ovid Rabbi Loik Kovokim Shato Moitze Biasei Uporat B'Loisaseh. There's an assay, and then there's a loisaseh. Ain't done loisaseh b'klal. You don't have a klal prat. And Rashi says klal biaseh uprat b'loisaseh. Could go to v'hoyiseh teil oilam kol out klal. The afilu ginus of pardesim loisaseh elatiyeh teil oilam shehu aseh. Loisim noid binyan batim vu loisaseh. So the question is, if the aseh includes more than the loisaseh, does it somehow affect the loisaseh? And we expand the loisaseh not only to batim, but also ginus and pardesim, or not? But whether you go this way or that way, for me, is irrelevant. But l'cheira, if you look at the Gemara, the Gemara says that there's an assay here. So if there's an assay, so it should be the HaMitzvos. Unless you interpret that the Gemara means that it's an isaseh. There's no kiyum in v'hoyiseh teil oila. It's just the Torah wants that to happen, that you shouldn't do the opposite. And then the leisim noid comes to modify and interpret, or somehow this interaction between the isaseh and the lav. The Minchas Chinuch in Tov Samach Hey, Ve'ayim Gmor Mavur, the Pasuk Zeh Bo'ed to Tel Olam Hu Aseh, V'leisim Hu Lav, V'aseh Hu Lav Abo Mechlal Aseh, Hainu Haboyna Oiva B'Lav, U'B'Lav Abo Mechlal Aseh, U'Mikol Mokoim Loimonu Moini HaMitzvos, Gamkein V'Chal Minyan HaMitzvos, Minyan Aseh Zu, Ki even to have a Lav Abo Mechlal Aseh, V'yesh al zeh lav gamkein nechshav kechel kiyadua l'mi sheboki b'smak l'Rabbeinu v'Ramban sho. So it means, what he means to say is that even according to the Ramban, that counts Isur Yaseh, but if there's a lav besides the Isaseh, you don't count the lav in the Isaseh, because all it is kefil and less than a lav. So there's no reason to count it. So no one counts this, and I guess everyone learns this in Isaseh. The Isaseh by itself. See, the question is, maybe flip the opposite. Maybe say there's not a kiyum aseh, and if a person builds it, there's a mitzvah to destroy it again. V'hoyiseh teil oila. That's good. What we're saying is there's no kiyum asay, it's only an isasay, and there's no reason to destroy it anymore. And adarabah, the Ram says that v'chol mishi yivneh bo chayiv malkis, bo dov chayiv malkis. So if it's chayiv malkis, it's not a lavanit lasei. So adrabah, you see minei ubei that it's only the isasei. There's no kiyum over here, and we paskin even asay kodm lalav is ein loikin alof. So the Minchas Chinuch, that's very odd, because he says, he quotes Sefer Mishnas HaChomim, the maybe B'Shem Sefer Megillah Sefer, the B'Ova Rubono Oser Leishebo Machmas L'Chol Milsud Yom Achmono Lo Yisovid Yehovah Lo Mahani V'Ayin Shezedoch Advo Lo Yishayir Zeh Rak Im Yevutal Adova Machmas Lo Yisovid Yiyeh Oser going Mashemachashe B'Tmura Aval Ishtamish Lo Yishayir Zeh Ayin Shom Dvorim L'Choin Ach Nira Mitam Shekosafti to Asay Mitzorch La'ar Yisabinyonim u'mitzvah al ho'ish mi Yisrael ayin shom b'soif dvorov shehirgish v'heir b'zeh v'advorim nechoin b'ezer Hashem l'liyastaiki. So this I don't understand. Once an Isa say, and you've already Isa say, so who says that the kiyum of the city should be also because of an Isa say? It's a very odd thing to say. So I can't say I understand this. See here, now, here it's very simple. The question is, what does it mean to rebuild it? Okay. You have a city which completely dismantled, burnt. There's nothing left. So someone comes, an architect comes and builds it. And he wants to make it. Okay. So we'll see. One Tana says, yes, that you can't make it even Ginus and Paldesim. You can't build it in any way. Okay, that I understand. But comes Rabbi Akiva and says that it's Kamo Shahoisa, as Ram's Paskins is quoting Rabbi Akiva over here. So the question is, what does it mean, Kamo Shahoisa? A facsimile of exactly where it was? What are you supposed to do? What's these? The Gemara Sanhedrin. We'll find out from the base, voice of Tel Oilo. Loisase, Ginus and Paldese. Dimavi Saglili. Rabbi Akiva Oimer. Rabbi Akiva Oimer. Loi Sivna Oid. L'kamoy Shahoisa. L'kamoy Shahoisa, they don't live this. Avul Nasis, he Ginus and Paldese. Okay? So Ginus Paldese Muta according to Rabbi Akiva. The Rambam Paskas like Rabbi Akiva. The Rambam over here. And in Hilchos Avodah Zarah, Perek Dalet, Halacha Ches. Vein adivnis le'oilo, v'chol aboina oisa loike, shenever leisimna oid, u'muta la'aseiso, ginus apardesim, shenever leisimna oid, leisimna medina, k'moi shahoisa. So this word Medina is very interesting. What does it mean, a Medina? It's a city, but we'll have to decide how to define, what the city is and how you define what a city is. What the machlek is and how to interpret the psukim, I don't know if we should get into this now. If you're interested, there's a Yad Ramah, it's an Hedgen, Yud Gimel and Aleph, that discusses the Machonos of Akiva and Yosef Glili. You'll find also a Malbim. I think that the most interesting issue, where I like to focus on, is this idea of Medina. You need to make it into a city. You don't need exactly the way it was, but it was an ir nidachas. It was an ir, and you were creating an ir. Okay. So now, so what do you need? Okay. Rashi, it's an Hedron. Let's just start to understand the Chiddush of Rabbah. That the way, just to present it. Rashi is a Hedron, you give them an Aleph, the messel, Klal, Biasei, Prat, Lisa said, Kagoin Vahoisa, Tail Olam Klal, Alfiloginus Padesim, Lisa said, Ella Vahoisa, Tail Olam, Shehuase, Loisibona Oid, Binyan Batim. So it means the EC is to build houses. I mean, it's a Milnil on the reef, it's an Hedgen in Daperi, in Mishnais, Daf Yud Beis. Rabbi Akiva Sova, Loy also Oid, Lagabois, Ella Dumia de Meikola, Dahainu Binyan Batim. So all you need is batim. You don't need any at all. So comes the minchas chinuch. Now I'll get back to the Ram and just see exactly what he formulas there over here. Comes the minchas chinuch. In Taf Samachay, say Mishnah Chomish Kosaf. After Loshna Mishnah Barambam, Leisim the K'moi Shahoisa lav dafka pirish im eina K'moi Shahoisa rak bona batim oive belav ze beloikin v'niyok aponim harbe batim be'inon shiu muchuna b'shem ir aval ein tzvoled v'bayis echod o Yosef yeh oive gamken. You need basically a tzura of an ir, not only batim. You don't need the way it was, but you need a tzur over here. However, I think the Ram goes a step further. Because now let's read the text of the Rambam. V'chol mi sheyivne dovo chayiv malchus. What Kloima? Sheyoshiv Oisa Medina. When did Sheyoshiv Oisa Medina? Sheyoshiv Oisa Medina. And Kapak says sheyashev oisa medina. So it's very possible that the word means, and that's what he stresses, Medina. The Minchas is a quarter. It's an amazing thing. The Ramli need Medina. But I think in Rambam, it's not enough that you build it with its tzur of a city. You have to repopulate it and have a population which should be called the city. And if you build a model town without any population, you were not over the lot. And that sheyashe or sheyoshi loisa medina, you make it, you repopulate the area. And that's what Rambam's mechadish over. He doesn't even say this explicitly. In Mishnah Torah, when Sefer HaMitzvos is very, I think he's certainly alluding to the fact that you have to recreate a city. Which I found amazing, frankly. That's what he says. Venira, Al Kaponim, how we batten being on Shiur Mechuna b'Shem, it's a nickname called an ear. I will ain't swallow the Bayis Echor or Yoiser, ye over K-Mira. Well, I was saying, Lo Biolano, Shir Habinyan, Vitzochiyun, Adshi, Ad, Yovoi, Viogain. Okay, say. So I think Adrabah, that Ram has told us something, and the Ram is telling you that basically it's not a question of one building. It's not a question of many buildings, but Sulasini'ir. It's not, it's you need to repopulate. And that's what the Ram says. But you don't have to be Kmo Shehoyisa. And but the Ram says Kmo Shehoyisa, that you have to make an ear. What's Medina? It's a question to be populated like a city. If that's correct, and this one word is a key word to translate, and it gives new meaning, especially in context. So I started, I told you, the Rashi, the Minyainison, the Minchas Chinuch, and then the Rambam. Okay, next. Now, the Rambam has become over here a Mayin Misgaber to redefine the lavum of Liduk Yodchum Lecherem and the lavum Lisavi. We'll have to decide whether Mishnah Torah is following this lead or not. Okay, we'll see. You see, if you look at the lav, one asks themselves, it says, Lo yidbak biyotcho mu'um menacherim. It shouldn't be pressed against his hand. It shouldn't be attached. It shouldn't be glued to his hand. Anything from the chayim. So let's see now. Mitzvah for Alba V'Esrim, she his hilno, shelo lihonois ulahachzik. Are there two things? Lahonois ulahachzik. It's or. Bedovo. Mi moment ואומר יסעלה, ולהית ביותכם מן אחרים. ומי שלוקח ממנו דוב וחי מלכוס, let's להחזיק. And one can maintain that also Lehonis is Chai Malchus, and that he leaves us to the next mitzvah, mitzvah Achomesh Viester, where he quotes the Gemara in Makis, V'kvar Beiro b'Seif Makis, Shemi Shebisha Batzei Ashera, Loi Kishtayim, Mishum Leisovi Toiv B'Secho, V'Achas, Achas Mishum Leisovi Toiv B'Secho, V'Achas Mishum Leisovi Toiv B'Secho, but does it? So it means that's what he says before. Mishenene bedovo mimena chai malchus. He mentions this by loisovito besecha, but l'chayre he says that lo yid is a machus lo yidba. So maybe adarabba. According to the Rambam, there's malchus for both. Very interesting option. Makes things. So then l'chayra the pshuta shel mikvah is lekicha, and the matiki ashmua that says mavashel is the mavashel is that the nane is matiki ashmua. It means the piyush makubal, and both get malchus maybe. I saw, what can I say? I'm not coming to disagree with anyone or anything, but like Kapach says Misha Lokach, and he quotes the Rambam in Mishnah Torah. You only get Malchus Vanor, and he says that's what he means. Chais. I don't know. I was brought up to Rambam, that's what he means, but okay, maybe he doesn't. But if you assume Rambam what he means, the conclusion is what I said. Now, let's continue. Lahachsik bidovo, okay? In Kapach says bishum dovo, and this is very important because what has happened over here is an amazing thing. That the pasuk says lo yidbak biyotcho mu'uma min acherim. So the Rambam is paraphrasing the word bishum dovo as mu'uma min acherim, and he's saying over the lav. It's very nice. So this comes to add that even if it's not a double choshuv, it's also you enjoin from this lav. Mu'um min acherim is anything, even if it appears to be a worthless thing, you enjoy from taking it or having enough from it because it's mu'uma. It's a very nice thing, and it's meduik in the pasuk. Avodas hamel in Avodah Zarah lamadal lebeis. Omer Yehuda, Shol Rabbi Yishmael, Omer Rav Achdaboy Omer Rav, HaMekadesh Shor HaNizko Mekudeshes. Beperish Shor HaNizko is Mekudeshes. Beperish Egle Avodah Zarah Eina Mekudeshes. I mentioned the second teretz. Let's see. Ibois eimakro ksiv loyid biyotcha mu'uma. Uksiv hosam soch yisarosho v'yochos besoro. Besoro also loy piusha. And you ask the Pirish because it's the Chmo'uma. The Rambam in Huchosishus, Perek He'aloch Beis, HaMakadosh B'Perish Egle Avodah Zorah, and HaMekudeshes Sha'akol me'Avodah Zorah Osa Bano Shem Lo Yidbak Biyot Chamum Menachem. Well, just take the post. That's Mo'uma. HaMakadosh B'Perish Niskel Mekudeshes Av B'Shor Niskel Osa Bano Pirush Eino Osa Bano. And here the Rambam gives the explanation. She'enoi dover choshu legabe hashor. And you don't need dover choshu to be also for mu'uma menachem. Hilchos Sanhedrin. It could be, it could be, there's a very interesting member, Rabbi Yossi, that he's trying to say that Zevel is mu'uma menachem. Zevel of Avodah Zorah is mu'uma. You look at the Gemara of Avodah Zorah, Mem Gimel Amud Beis. It's a Mishnah. Rabbi Yossi Oimer, Seichek v'zoru l'ruach u'mata l'yom. That's the way you destroy Avodah Zorah. Machlokes. Comes Rabbi Yossi. Omaloi af hu nase zevel. Shenemo lo yidbak bi'otcho mu'uma menachem. So something amazing is happening over here. That according to Rabbi Yossi, it's not only a lav of mu'uma of davar chashuv, but lo yibah b'yot munachem comes to redefine what the mitzvah's ibud or Sefer is. And you're not kind of mitzvah if after you finish, you can engender or yid b'yot menachem. Which is a separate issue which I have to talk about. You show me this idea that Dover Choshuv is Nasa Mishum Mu'uma. You find me Yishalmi Dmai also, Perikal for the Chagimu, for Tani Kilo Shalavu the Zorah. Also, Bano. And the kilo is only, there's the relationship is not great. So the Yerushalmi answers, Shiny he dichsiv lo yid b'yotcho menachem. It's mu'uma. Now, this idea of Rabbi Yossi, I just want to show you where it's played out and how it actually happens. That somehow, when we redefine the mitzvah ibud or the mitzvah Sefer of the Tachas. Because in Tachas, there's a mitzvah Sefer Soyer. And the Torah says, "Ves kol shalolo tikboitz al teichuchovo, v'sarafta boish es ho'ir V'es kol shlola kolil Hashem. The mitzvah is tzreifa kolil. Kol Hashem elokecha, voice telo olam lo yisibona oid. And then it says, lo yid v'yokum v'nacherim. So it's an amazing thing that in the Torah, it says the lo yidbak defines the mitzvah sreifa. You shouldn't leave anything over. Maybe since Avodah Zarah is also called cherem, shaketz tishaksenu, b'sayv tisavenu ki cherem hu, Rabbi Yossi comes to say that it could define the mitzvah ibur Avodah Zarah. That's beautiful. So a priori, I would have said that's good for the machlekes. That according to the Tanna Kama, it's only said by a nidachas. And comes Rabbi Yossi and says that even Avodah Zarah, which is also called cherem, it can redefine the mitzvah ibur. The same. But if you look at the Ram Pirush Shnayis and Shabbos, you'll find an amazing thing. The Ram Pirush Mishnah and Shabbos, Perek Tes, Mishnah Vov, Rabbi Yehuda Oimer, Choil v'somim leiv lakol, shehu mi misham she'avodah zarah. Look, some leiv lakol shehu, anything. ממשם שעבודה זרה, ומשתדלים לעבדוי, ומשתדלים כלשהו, ושמים לב לכל. You see, רבי יהודה אומר, I think it would go better like this. Just half a second. Yeah, I think you have to read the Mishnah first. Mishnah and Shabbos. Perek Tes Mishnah Vov. Rabbi Yehuda Oimer, Af hamotzi mimisham she'avodah zarah kolshehu. Why? Shnema lo yidbak biyotcho mu'umo min hacherem. So, a priori, I would have learned that mu'uma means that even it's not a double choshuv by avodah zarah, that's chosh. That's in the lav. So b'meila it's choshuv. In the Mishnah, you have no clue that has anything to do with even avodah zarah. But listen to the Rambam. We have Yehuda Oimer Chayil v'dova mu'at mimeshamshe avodah zarah makpidin boy v'noisnin das olov la'abdoi. Where did that come from? La'abdoi. So it means that there's a relationship, even according to Chachamim, of Mu'uma with the mitzvahs Ibur Avodah Zarah, lav dafka min nidachas. So you have to reinterpret what the issue of Yos and the Chamo. But everyone does this. V'noisnen das la'abdoi ha'izchayiv im hoitzi kol shehu. He v'shehu mashkiach olav. Ve'en aloch Rabbi Yehuda. So you have to know why, but that's not really interesting. But he explains it because of Ibud. All I'm trying to tell you is Neschadish over Rabbi Yossi and Ram Pir Shnai's explanation of Rabbi Yehuda that you learn the pasuk of L'yid b'chulav tchum and in two ways. In one way, it's a separate lav. In another way, it's almost a rider to explain to us what the Ibud Avodah Zarah is. It's an Ibud that there's nothing's left. Lo yid b'yotchum min acherim. Now, I think that's very interesting. It's like, the truth is, what I get excited is words that you might learn the thing 5, 10 times and you wouldn't pick it up. But when you're sensitive to it, all of a sudden you say, wow, he's saying something very important. And if you understand the relationship between Lo Yidbach Yotum Nacherem and the mitzvahs ibud or the mitzvahs schreibes in lidachas, then the word la'abdoi Rambam is amazing. Now, next. The Rambam here is mechadish that the Isa of Ir Nidachas is not only Hano, but it's Lekichas Momon from Nichse Ir Nidachas. And that the Isa is Avochas Momon. She is Halnu, Shaloli Hones, Ulahachsik, Bedovo, Mimomon Ir Nidachas. Biskilov Zechoyin Levoch. Broader Raya, the Biskilov is quoted in the Shiur Hagoyin of Bichil Michal on Tairais Binyone Yutches Dovo Simon Chavdalit Ois Gim. He quotes from Biskilov that there's a raya that the Isa Lo Yidbak is an Isa of Esofas Mom. From that which we see in the Sefer Yereim, Siman Reish Ayin Dalet. The Yereim quotes Gemara Chulin, Perek Aleph, Chesman Aleph, Omar Rova, Sakin Shel Avodah Zarah, Mutar Lishchak Bo. We also lacht boss. Mutar Lishchak Bo, Mekalkahu. Vahi Dechulu Lekasha. The Le'in Avodah Zarah, Tichsiv Lo Yidbach B'yot Chamum Men Acherem, Mu'uma, Revach Momoin Yosef Hikpi the Torah. U'miacha Shepichsei Domov, B'shchita Le'dovak. V'hailu Desnan Le'in Avodah Zarah, V'per Korat Slomim, Yoy L'chano Li'am HaMelech. Ad Kandai. This he was using to explain the Rambam. It means what he's trying to tell you, if it's makalkil, if the hefsid is yesmi kuloi, it's not that, there's an isa or there's something or that since it's makalkil to be there, but it's okay. What he's trying to say is, since there's no avochas momon, there's no isa. But the question is, what exactly happened over here? Are we saying that without havochas momon, there's no isa hano at all? See, before originally we were presenting in the Rambam that the two isurim. There's an isa of lekichas momon, and there's an isa of hano, and each one by itself could be mechayiv malchus, maybe. Risk of love, by quoting the Re'im to explain the Rambam, I'm not sure if he gains anything, it creates more problems. Because basically what he's saying is that the whole thing merges into one. There's no isa of lekicha. Every hana requires lekichas momon. And if in the hana there's no lekichas momon, there's no isa. The Seder, she's hanushlo lihones lachzik b'dovo mimomon. You can get the impression it's two separate things. The loshin and mishalok chimenu dovo is chayim malchus, and he quotes the malchus by Anor separately. I'm not sure that I would accept this. The idea in the Re'im is beautiful. That the isa, certainly the isa knows avochas momon, but in Ram you don't know that. Maybe it's almost, see, the chinuch is something my Briskelov wants to say in the Re'im, but it goes even further. Because the chinuch comes and says, in Tov Chav Tes, Shelo lahadbik shum dovo me'avodah zara im mimonenu u'b'shuseinu lehonos bo. It's to take it in order to be nene from it. In Briskelov, the hano itself is a lekicha, which doesn't sound like this. The interesting thing is that the Ram Mishnah Torah, there's no discussion of lekichas momon. The old discussion is only about hano. The Rambam in Hilchos Avodah Zarah, Perek Dal Aloch Zayin, Nichse Atzadikim Shebesecha, V'chulei Nisrofin, Hoil V'yoshvu Sham, Memoinam of V'chol Hanene Mimena B'chol Shu Loiker Achas Shenemo L'Yid V'yotchu Menachem. And also in Perek Zayin Aloch Beis, when he talks about that he's nanef mishamshi avodah zarah, whatever it is, which is all avodah zarah mishamshi is called chayim. You get two malchus, but the malchus b'teres hano. There's no mention at all in Mishnah Torah, no mention at all that there's something called lekicha. In Sefer HaMitzvos, it seems to be a very important thing, and I don't see it in Mishnah Torah at all. I should have. I apologize for my state of health, but Mitzvah next week, I hopefully the Eibush should be mechapabad.
And next week will be at an earlier time.